Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the device mode in Chrome DevTools. Now, this is going to allow you to experience your website in a way like you'd be using it on an actual device. So let's get going on that right now. So now that we have these tools like PageSpeed to really see what these search engines and platforms are looking at on our websites, now it's time to dive into some Chrome web developer tools to really understand how we can troubleshoot, debug, and fix a lot of these items. And ultimately just have the fastest website possible, whether or not that's appearing to be fast or loading actually super fast. Now, the first thing I want to show is the device view in Chrome Developers Tools. So if we inspect this page, you'll see that in Chrome, we have this device here. If we toggle this device mode, you're given this new pane over here. If we refresh, and you'll see that we have the option to select a specific device. Now let's go ahead and select something like the Nexus 5. It's a good sized phone. We refresh our page and you can see that we now have a screen that's 360 by 567. It's a Google Nexus 5 and it's in portrait. Now you can see we can scroll down like this. We have actions to touch events. We can click and drag. We can do a lot of nice things here. And what's great about this is it's really just showing you the mobile experience. If you remember in our Google page speed analysis, the mobile experience in user interface was accounting for a lot of points, and that will affect your search engine and performance ranking. So let's actually go ahead and make this a little bit larger here. And we have some options to a lot of tools, right? So in addition to being able to, change portrait, navigation bar, keyboard, that sort of stuff, to be able to see our site in all sorts of different ways, like if we select keyboard, and you can see that this site, when the keyboard is up at this point, is really hard to see anything, right? However, luckily for us, there is not a lot of typing on this site unless you're adding your cart information, and at that point you should be able to see just fine. So now we can take this back to normal, refresh, and it's all good. Now, what's cool here is that we also have the option to add some network throttling. So we can say on a 3G connection, let's say a regular 3G connection, which is only 750, you can see that this site runs and functions pretty quickly. So that's a really nice thing that we're able to test these at different speeds. Now let's actually go ahead and just go with a even crappier network here. Now if we refresh the page, you can see this time the load time takes quite a bit longer, and this image, when it popped in, it sort of pushed everything down. So let's refresh again. You can see something really interesting here. We get the title here, and then once the images load, it pushes down. So that's how these users are going to experience the site. And I don't know if you've ever used a website where things are loading, and when something loads, things get pushed down, and then all of a sudden the thing you meant to click on is no longer where you were meaning to click on it, and that can lead to some pretty big frustrations. So this sort of device profiling and allowing you to select your network here can really open up your eyes to things like that. Maybe we can have a container in here that's keeping the proper size here so that when this loads, maybe we just have space here for this image to load rather than having the image load and push everything down. Now, in addition to being able to select specific devices, we can actually increase this ourselves and sort of see it in a responsive way and see this as it's getting a larger and maybe different size devices. So this is a tablet view, pretty much 911 by 567, but we could always just give it a specific device, a Nexus 7. We could give it a Nexus 7 in landscape, and then you'll want to refresh after you select the device. But as you can see, we now have this in a 960 by 600, and what's cool is that you don't have to have this tablet to see this or understand that this is what the mobile experience is going to be like for somebody who has a bad internet connection and is on a Nexus 7. So this is device mode in Chrome Developer Tools. Now it's a mostly visual way of understanding how your website works and loads. It's not necessarily the best for having a great analysis of what's loading and what's taking a lot of time, but it will give you a great idea of what the user experience is like. And that for me is a very important thing as well. So in addition to having those metrics, you want to know what it feels like for your users. Now that mobile is such an important part of web development, this is a great way to dive in as to how all of these devices are going to look and feel. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment in the video or hit me up at Twitter or Facebook at Level Up Tutorials. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.